What's up, Lala? What's up, D. Jones? Yeah, I got no sports today. Got no sports today. Usually I send the kids off to their sports and stuff. And their chaperone make sure they get there. Right? Let's get it. Let's get it today. See if we can get it today. I'm trying to get up there. I need 31 more subscribers. What's up, Leslie and Neil? Amy Crew? Yeah, 31 more. Let's get another one up there. Yeah, let's do it. 31 subscribers to go to 1,000. Please, let's try to get it up there. Share this video. Send it to a friend, a family member, uncle, father, son, sister, mother, neighbor. We in it. We're gonna fix a recoil today. I've been talking about this. Put a rope inside this thing. Common issue with a lot of snow equipment, lawn equipment. So we're gonna fix this today. We're gonna go over it, KeyKev style. We'll let some people jump in here and see if we can get some more people up in here before we start. How's everybody's day going? Me too, John. John Trot. Kevy style. Like I said, sometimes I get out of work and I see a few things that have been accumulating over here. This rope here is actually this rope goes in my own personal snowblower. I said to myself, you know what? It'd be a good thing to do. I noticed last year it was starting to fray. I don't know if you could see that little fuzzies. Those little fuzzies, man. My day's been crazy, man. I've been fixing shit all day. If I'm not fixing shit here, I'm fixing shit at work. Yeah, JFK's getting it in. He had a nice early stream, playing some good music. What up, Becky G? Playing some good music. I jumped in on the chat. No, the pins breaking in those. Are they a real pain in the ass? Says my husband. They are. They are. And when we're talking about are you talking about the pins in the front of a snowblower, the shear pins? BL, I'm glad you made it. Um, if you're talking about shear pins in the front of a snowblower, yes. You know, there's usually grease fittings on the front of the machine, either to the left or the right of the shear pin. And you want to kind of maintain that. Make sure you're greasing them. That'll help the removal and installation of those shear pins. Becky G, we're going to fix a recoil today. We're going to restring this recoil. We're going to put a new rope in this. And hopefully this will help some people out in the future. You could always come back and check it out. You got any questions? We're going to break this one down. It could be a simple fix, or it could be a pain in the ass. What up, Laura? I don't know if you got a snowblower over there, Laura, but shit. I bet that is, DB. Shit, I wouldn't want you out there snow blowing either, though. I did, Mamacita. I got to set that up with Nurse Kim. You know, I've been trying. I don't know how to really reach out to her. Maybe through X, I can do that. Been having a hard time downloading like Facebook, um, which I got a lot of photos and videos and stuff on there that I'd like to upload into this computer. I've been having a hard time hooking up through Facebook. Um, so, but definitely, we're going to make that happen. We're definitely going to make that happen. Like to get her on a dance party, 39,000, and that's how this all started. We still gotta make it to the dance. We still had a commitment. It would be awesome. Yeah, some of those backpack blowers can get heavy. Like you're saying, 50 pounds is, you know, that's right. That's a good point, Sarah. You got to grease that stuff up. There's grease points on a lot of equipment, especially like, underneath. That'll be a great video. You know, just some general maintenance on the undercarriage of a snowblower. You get a lot of moving parts underneath these machines, and that'll be a good one. You know what? I think my next video that I'm gonna throw up, and I'm working on it. I already dug the equipment out, but I think we're gonna do a good video on how to adjust the chain on your chainsaw. There's a lot of you know safety involved with that I'd like to go over. Um, there's some great points that I'm going to bring up in that video about adjusting the bar and the chain. They get installed together, and um, it's very important that you have it adjusted properly, because you can go put a chain on, adjust the tension of the chain, but then when you start to use it, it starts to get loose, and that's when you run into some problems. So we got 31 people up in here. We got 31 people. to see if we could get a couple more. So everybody had a good day. If I'm catching you and you're driving in the car, put me down on the seat. I'll turn up the volume. We can talk. I'll talk a little louder. I don't want you looking at the screen and driving. That's number one. No fucking around. Yes, you can replace the bar on a chainsaw. Chainsaw bars, the bar where the chain is rides on. They're reversible. You can flip the bar over. A lot of times there's writing on the side of it, chainsaw bar, which would make you think in your head, oh geez, I put the bar on upside down because the words are upside down. But that's not the fact. You can flip a chainsaw blade over and over. You do it. I mean, I would suggest to flip the blade every time you're working on the chain, or you're adjusting the chain, or replacing the chain. Um, there's some visual inspections that you want to do when you take the chainsaw apart. A chainsaw has an oiler that has a separate little oil housing that you fill up with bar and chain oil, and it lubricates the bar and the chain from behind the bar. So as we're using the chainsaw, what will happen is we'll get all these sawdust and all the wood chips. They'll pack the case, the cover, and behind the bar. Um, so it can get very, very plugged and packed up where you're not going to get the proper oil. Usually that kind of maintenance is the cleaning it and stuff like that. Um, it's necessary. I mean, you have to always clean the wood chips out of there every time you're servicing something like that. How you doing, host? What up, Cash? Coco, what up? Bluetooth. That's right, Laura. You'll hear me in the background. Buckle up, like Frenchie said. Good point, Frenchie. I like that. Safety first. Buckle up. We got 36 people in there. Let's smash the like button. Um, I don't have, yeah, we only need 27 more. Nice. 27 more subscribers, and I'm at 1,000. It's a big goal of mine. It's a big goal of mine. I got to get up there. We had a little incident the other night when I had some troll jump in the chat. Goddamn cat got pissed and everything else. It's crazy, man. I had a dream about that cat really coming alive after I seen that fucking video. Scared the fuck out of me. Goddamn dude was trying to tell me what to do for my next live and shit. I said, calm the fuck down. What do we got here? That's what I was just reading. I'll tell you, it's good. Let's go. Let's share it. Let's get Kev to 1,000. Let's do this. God damn! I just put up another video today. I don't know if you guys seen it out there, but there's a new video I posted today. Got sent over to me. Um, I had an old YouTube channel. I'll tell you, I thought of doing this a long time ago, but I can't retrieve it. I can't get into it. I don't know how to access it. Must have been on an old email or telephone number I had 16 years ago, but I did generate an account, and some of those videos that you're seeing on those the music videos, they're coming from that account. Burning tire and a couple of Jeep runs out in the woods and shit I had on there, but I was trying to do this. Thanks, host. Yeah, that is a bummer. I had a good video on there. I laugh. I'm gonna try to grab it. Um, my dog Ozzy. I had a dog named Ozzy. He was a good boy. He was a good boy. A couple years back, I had to put him down. He's like 14. He was a pain in the ass. He ate through a couple couches of mine and shit. And used to get into stuff. Quick story on that puppy, man. I'll tell you. I had two dogs well, three dogs all at once. But I had this bull mastiff, an American bulldog. His name was Muggsy. About a year later, I ended up getting him his little sister. The guy had another litter of pups, and I brought home a little sister for Muggsy. Her name was Molly. So then, about 6 years later, that same breeder, he come to me. He said, "Hey, we just had pups. You should come down and take a look at them. I mean, right up your alley." He's like, "One of them looks like Muggsy." I said, "God damn, Muggsy?" So I got down there, sure than shit. This little dog, man, I'll tell you, he was tiny, man. He was a little guy, and just the markings on him. I says, "Oh, I'm taking him." So that's what I ended up doing. About 2 weeks later, guy comes walking in my shop, and he's like, "Kev, something tragic happened this morning." He's like, "I let the mother of the dogs out. She went down the end of the driveway, got into the street, and got hit, and she passed away. So all these puppies, they were only like 3 or 4 weeks old." And he said, "I know, you got dogs, you're good with dogs, man." He's like, you know, I want you to take them." He's like, they're still nursing. They haven't eaten solid food yet. And I jumped in the truck and went down there, scooped this little guy up. I brought him home. He lived in my sweatshirt pocket for about a month. Kept having to wear hoodies. Little guy was in my pocket all day. I'd be working out here in the shop with him. I had to teach him how to go to the bathroom. I had to, clean his ears, clean them all up a couple times a day. Like, try to give him that, like, that care that the mother would be giving him. So me and this dog, we got attached. We got attached pretty bad. And he used to get into trouble all the time, but he had a free pass with me because I saved his ass. And he was a good dog, though, even though he got in some trouble. But on that YouTube, on that old page I have, I got a video of him. He got in some serious trouble one day. He ended up almost having to do life in the kitchen for the rest of his life, But he used to talk back to me. So I was, I come in the house and I had these gates up that separated the kitchen from like in the living room. And a little dude standing there looking at me behind the gate. And it looked like a jail cell. All the bars and shit were coming down, and he's got his nose pressed up against the bars trying to look at me and shit. And I started talking to him, and he started talking back. And we had a conversation probably for about 5-10 minutes. Told him how he embarrassed me. Dude got in the trash, got the trash all over the kitchen and the living room. And the title of that was Ozzy doing life in the kitchen. I told everybody to tune in next time, but he was a good dog. I said I wouldn't get another dog, but now I got Bandit. Bandit's a year and a couple months. He reminds me of Ozzy. Pain in the ass. But he loves everybody. He loves his dad, his mom, his brother and sister. So he's a good boy. He did get a fair trial, Becky G. Motherfucker. He used to get into shit, man. He used to have me running around like crazy. I have stories about this dude, but we're supposed to go to work here. But I'll tell you another quick story then, because this dude's on my head now. Yeah, Bandit was on YouTube the other night. He got JFK sent him a link. Him and James were talking and shit. James wanted to ask him a couple of questions. So I'm out here working in my spot. And I had these 3 dogs. I had all 3 dogs. I didn't put them on a leash. They stayed right in the yard. They worked with me every single day. They were in the yard sunbathing. And I used to have this little pool. I'd fill the pool up with water. I had it in the corner of the shop way in the back. And then all 3 of them would go over and lay down in the pool on hot days and shit. I mean, they had it made, let me tell you. People would be talking to them in traffic and shit. So I'm getting ready to lock up the place. And I can't find Ozzy. I'm like, God damn, this dog got away. So I'm looking around. I'm walking through the shop. I'm looking. I'm whistling. I'm out front. Got people walking around the block. I'm yelling and screaming and shit, looking for the dog. I take the other 2 dogs, put them in the house. So I'm like, damn, he can't be gone far. He can't have gone far. So I take a mission down the street. I'm walking down the street. Go to the end of the street, take a right. Couple little bodegas on the right hand side. And there's a bar across the street. So as soon as I turn the corner, I'm walking up past these little bodegas. And I look over and I see everybody outside the bar. So I'm like, hey, you seen a dog? Fucking guy looks right at me. He's like, yo, he's in the bar, man. Fucking dog's in the bar. He just made everybody get out of the bar. So I go in there. Sure than shit, he's looking at the peanut bowl and shit. They have fucking Doritos and shit up on the table. And he's in the bar. He emptied the fucking bar out. He was a muscular dog. You know, his appearance would make you take a step back. He was a good boy. But yeah, he probably wanted a couple shots. Like it's back then, shit. I think I used to like the Jaeger. He would have went for a Jaeger. So, all right, well, let's get into this. We got 56 people in here watching me. I want you guys all to like and share this video. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a rope in this recoil. This recoil come off my own personal snowblower last year when I was using it. I noticed towards the end of the year, it was starting to fray up. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. You know, it's just years. I mean, that's making it weak. You know, and the last thing I want to do is, I got a corner lot, so the last thing I want to do is be down the street, around the corner, and wondering about this thing. So, the rope let go, and I got it here. So the first thing you're going to want to check out on this recoil is there's a spring inside here. Now, every time you engage this, you're going to see these little things shoot. You see those things right there? Some people call them paws. I call them dogs. They're engagement dogs. They engage on a metal cup that's bolted to your flywheel on the motor. All right, and you want to make sure that they're intact and they're working, because this is what's taking all the force. This is what's engaging to the motor. This is what's turning that motor over. So, what we're going to do is we're going to break this thing down. Wish I could show you. God damn, sorry. I'm just gonna put this down here. You can still hear me. Now listen, anytime you're taking something apart, all right, make sure you got something spread out. If you're on a table, you're on the back porch, you're on the picnic table, if you can, lay out an old towel, old kitchen towel, or shop towel, or shop rag. That way you can lay these parts out, all right? It's pretty good to kind of lay these out in order the way you took them off. So what we got the engagement dog cover, and we got a screw, a shouldered bolt. Now, if this bolt ever broke, you can't just replace this with any kind of bolt. What we got on here is a shoulder. It's stepped when I mean shoulder. See that shoulder right there? Now, why that's shouldered is when you tighten when you tighten all those threads back into this recoil, it's going to stop on that shoulder and not, if you put a regular bolt in, you'd tighten this thing all the way down to the point where this would be locked up solid. You wouldn't be able to turn this at all. So this bolt's very critical. I've seen machines come in and, hey man, I tried fixing my recoil and I can't even get the thing to spin. I don't know if I put it on backwards or what, but it's 95% of the time it's this shouldered bolt. There's usually a spring inside here for this engagement cover. There's a small spring. Now I'm going to lay this down on the table, okay, in the order that I took it off. I'm going to lay that cup cover down. I'm going to put the spring right on top. What I'm going to do is take it, the first step is put this bolt right back through it. That way, I got everything in order the way I took it off. Now these here are the engagement dogs, and you want to inspect them. They can get bent, they can get all marred up, they'll take a shape. You'll start to see that that's really the engagement point, that little shiny spot, that little round dot you're looking at in there. These are spring loaded as well. Okay, that's how that action works. There's a lot to these. I'm going to take one of these springs out. You want to always make sure that they're in there. They're pretty rugged. They stay in. You got a small spring. These are another thing that you got to make sure that you have in there. All right. This piece is taller than the other one. If you're looking at it, my big old hands here. I'm going to install that right back inside here. Okay, there's one on each side. And when I put this back together, you're going to see how critical these springs are. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the spool. There's the spring. Now, sometimes this spring will bust. You see how rusty it gets? You got to remember, snow equipment, it's used in the cold weather, wet conditions. All right? Now, normally, what I like to do is I like to clean that stuff up, which I'm going to do right now. Using a small piece of sandpaper, you just want to kind of hit that rusty spot on there. Knock some of that down. Like to clean it up a little bit. One of my best friends in this business and with all these repairs is WD-40. I've talked about it before. I'm going to take it. I'm going to hit it a little bit. I'm going to shine it up. Going to shine it up. Now, when you're doing this kind of a job, if you're looking at this here, all right, this might break. This might have broken in the process of pulling the rope snapping, or usually what will happen is the rope will dry out. The rope will dry out and break. And when the rope breaks, a section of the rope's going to shoot back in. It's going to get drawn back into this where it wraps around here. And on when it's retracting back in, and there's no resistance from your hand letting the rope back in, this spring will let go. I mean, if you're at this stage with it and the spring is intact and it's not broken, 95% of the time you don't have to go any further. You don't have to go any further. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out. I took it right out. I got it right in my hand. Now, I'm holding it. As you can tell, this thing here, it wants to come all apart. It's all wound up. Sometimes you'll take that recoil off and this thing will be sticking out, sprung like this. I mean, this might look a little overwhelming right now, but very easy to put back together. And I'm going to show you how. Same thing. I'm at this stage with it. It's not broken, but it's rusty. And I want to get through another couple more seasons of this. I don't want this thing sticking or the rope hanging out a little bit at the end, and as you're using it, it sucks back in. You want to make sure that it's all, it's working good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little sandpaper. And I'm just going to clean the surface rust off this. I'm not going to go too crazy, but all I'm doing is just kind of cleaning it up. Just want to get that rust off, so there's no drag, there's no stick. Once again, I'm going to tell you people, WD, one of my best friends in this. Oop, got one of my little helpers here. Baby, can you go get me that black shirt right there? So what I'm going to do is I sprayed that up with some WD-40. And a hammer, yeah. Let me tell you, sometimes Becky, I've used the hammer plenty of times. Plenty of times. So we got the spring. I knocked down a lot of that rust. All right. I'm not sanding it so it's super shiny. Um, it's usually coated, this kind of metal. So yeah, I don't go too crazy, but it is building some surface rust. We cleaned up the inside of this. I let this thing soak while we were talking. To be totally honest with you, you see it's all flat. It's dried out. It's a little sun faded. Depending on where you're keeping it. Once again, I'm going to hit this. I'm just going to hit it a couple times. WD-40 with a lot of this equipment is it's a blessing. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt the paint. If your machine was flaky with the paint or starting to, chip or anything like that, yeah, any kind of oil that you spray on it, it's going to continue to chip. It's not going to stop any of that. But if it's got a good paint job on it and, the plastics, all the plastics on the equipment, it really, it works out good. So you can see it kind of brings it right back. Smash that like button. Subscribe. I'm almost there. People. Let's go, people. All right. So now we got the rope spool. All right. And we got that spring. We got to get this spring wound up and put inside here. Now, as you can see, it gets pretty self-explanatory because what you got is you got a little spot up here. That's a spring lock. And then you got your spring. Put that on my shirt pot there. And then you got your spring lock, as you can see here with this animate. Now the direction of this spring is backwards, as you can tell, because you want this top part of the spring to lock inside here. So what I'm going to do is just take this spring and I'm just going to flip it around. I'm going to lay this spring I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to lay that spring right inside the lock. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do this backwards, but shouldn't have a problem. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bend this down and I'm going to start feeding it in. Just going to keep winding this around. You always want to be careful with this. If you're not paying attention, I'll tell you what will happen if you do this type of work is your hands are going to get tired. But all I'm doing is I'm feeding this spring right back into that hole, the pocket that it come out of. And I'm holding it down with my thumb on one side, and I'm just rotating this spring around, and it's falling right back in to its groove. See if I can do it backwards. It's a little tough. I'm not looking at it. But all I'm doing is I'm just spinning this around. Just keep pushing it. There we are. Fell right back in. Now you got the end of that spring. You see it. It's sitting on top of where that bolt goes through. You want it right on the side. You want it resting right on that piece of plastic. You want it resting right there, right up against that. Reason being is you got the housing, the recoil housing itself. You know, remember I sanded that up. It was rusty. I sprayed some WD-40 on it. I let it sit right here with us while I was doing the spring rewind. We got that spring right back in there. Looks good, huh? Looks real good. It's not all rusty. In my head, I'm saying I'm going to get another year out of this bad boy. I'll be able to pull it all day long. God damn. As JFK would say, have Marky pull it. Marky can pull it. That's been sitting the whole time. That thing was all rusty. Shit, if we could hit the rewind button, that's what WD-40 does. WD-40, the 40th attempt. I don't know if you guys have Googled it since the last time I said it, but there's a story behind WD-40. They wanted a chemical. They wanted a special chemical agent that would protect rockets. Rockets. Goddamn rockets. And it took the guy 40 tries. At the 39th try, he almost got fired. What if it was called W39? What if it was double W38? Would we still buy it? God damn. So on the 40th attempt to make a wattable, soluble, you know, it's more or less like a penetrator. It's like a coating for, any kind of material. You can use it on plastic, metal, aluminum. I mean, whatever your vice is on it, you could use it. But it sat here on this for a good amount of time. I was doing some bullshit and telling you stories about my pup. But when we started, maybe about 20, 30 minutes ago, this thing was rusty as a son of a gun. What there is on this is there's a little cutout. I don't know if you could see it. It's a spot right here. this right here is going to go right inside that spot, that cutout, when we put this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down here, and I'm going to position this to represent it so it's right up top. And I'm going to do the same on this shroud cover. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this right down. I laid it right in. It fell right in the right spot. Now, when I go to wind this up, I don't know if you've seen that. It might have been too fast. Might have been on turbo. But if I wind this up, I'm loading that spring in there. And this is what retracts the rope back in. Now remember, people, we got these parts here. We had them laid out in the order they came out. We got 56 people watching. Please, hey, we got to like, subscribe, and share. Share this to a friend. Share it to a neighbor, family member. Share it to somebody. God damn. I'm going to take my hat off. Share it to somebody, and let's get this moving. I'm going to put this down here. We're going to look at my little lineup I got going on over here. Now let's see if anybody's... Goddamn, let's see if anybody's been listening. I had a name for these. I had a name that some people would call them. And I have a name that I call them. See if everybody was listening. What did I call these, chat? Let's give it a minute. God damn. God damn, Becky. That's right, Bob. God damn, Bob. God damn, Amy. Dogs. I call them dogs. You guys are listening. God damn, makes me proud. Now, I talked about putting these back in. And there's these little springs that we popped out earlier. Oh, I wish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these back in right now. Now, what you got to do with these, let me put this down a little bit. That springs right here. That springs right here. You got to make sure that when you put these back in, the spring there's a little, might have to get a pointing stick or a pencil, but I don't know if you can see that spring in there. But what the spring does is it rides on the outside of this metal, and it pushes it back in. It pushes it spring loads the thing. My bad. It's had a blackout. Thought I had a better lighting system. So we got this back in. I put those dogs in, and I put them behind the spring because they're spring loaded. It's very self-explanatory when you're at this point, because there's no way to put the dog there. They sit on top of that spring, and they're spring loaded. And when you put that shouldered bolt that we talked about, because that's the next step, I put it all back together the way it was when I took it out. Now, do you see these here? You see those little steps, these little bosses, I'm going to call them? The bottom of this cover is stepped up. And then you got this here. You're going to put these, this part right here in between those two springs. See that? I'm going to put the bolt through the engagement cup. Now what I'm going to do, I got the bolt in there. I got that little part in between both springs. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on this. All right. And I'm just going to tighten up this bolt by hand. Now, when you the reason why the alignment with this in between the two dogs, all right, is for when you wind this back up, they come out right in the middle of that. As you see, they line right up in between this. But these bosses are actually not allowing these to go beyond because there's a lot of force there. We're almost done, people. So this is a great thing. I hope you guys are learning some stuff. Now this here is actually a 10 millimeter. I got my 10 millimeter socket. I'm gonna put it on. Got my ratchet. Make sure that I got this tight. Now, if you look here, what I'm gonna do, I got my thumb on the machine on the housing itself up here. I'm just gonna snug that up. I'm not gonna go overboard. We don't have to try to tighten it up like a lug nut. I seen that up in there. God damn. God damn, Becky G. We got 10 more to go, people. We got 10 more subscribers. Anybody know anybody? Maybe you could call somebody. We need to spread the word. We need to spread the word, people. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers here. God damn. We're almost done with the recoil repair. God damn, 10 more to go. I need a cigarette. God damn. Got an old car. Got this old Buick. I said, put it on Marketplace, you know? So those things are like materialistic things, you know? Can't get attached to a car, you know? I tell myself all the time. I like the car. The car's a cool car. Loud pipes, big, good sized motor, snappy, runs real crispy. But this guy over here on the market swap, he hits me up. He says, "Hey man, I'll trade you my motorcycle. I'll trade you my motorcycle for the car." I said, "What? What kind of bike you got, buddy?" Nah, I'm typing away and shit. But I'm talking to myself like this, looking at the fucking screen. I'm saying, "Fucking send me a fucking pic, man. What do you got?" He sends me a pic. Huh, I like it. It's right up Kev's alley. It looks sharp. I mean, I got a bike, but why not have another one? They're easy to store. You know, I could put a cover on it. I could drive it till Christmas. I could have some fun on that bike. It's a big bike. Got the radio. Got the bags. Big seat. God damn, hate. We at it? God damn, I think we hit 1,000. We're almost there. All right, let's not get sidetracked here. I'm getting excited. We're almost at 1,000. We got this. We tighten this up. We took this spool out. We disassembled the spring. We inspected the dogs. We cleaned everything. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking better than what we started with. I'm gonna have to hit the rewind button. And the whole point of this was to change this rope. See, you see this the little phrase? This right here is a fuck you waiting to happen. The middle of the driveway in a fucking snowstorm. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be pissed. You're gonna say, "Yeah, I got electric start," or maybe your wife's gonna yell out, "It's got electric start. Hit the button." Yeah, you got a fucking 500-foot extension cord. I'm halfway down the street. I was doing the neighbors. I'm a nice guy. Guy down the street. He needed me. He got go over there. You got that neighbor? Do you got that neighbor? You got that neighbor that just wants to, snow blow everybody? God damn. God damn. So now we're going to take this rope out. Now I'm going to try to scale this up for you people because this is another important part. This is another important part. Now this, I must have been here before. Because if you see, I get a little washer. I get a tiny little washer behind the knot. I don't know if you can see that. Nice little washer. You don't have to put a washer, but I recommend it. You could pull the rope through that. This is plastic. You're using it outside in the snow. It's going to get wet. You got a nylon corded rope. That's getting wet. You could pull that right through that hole. But if you double down with a washer, you got to pull the rope through that washer and then through that. It's a win-win situation, people. It's a win-win situation. Now listen. You want an arm's length. Whoever's using the machine. I mean, I'm 5'9". You want to adjust this rope, cut this rope to your wingspan. All right? To your wingspan. Now I got my finger right on the end of this, and I'm putting my arms all the way out. That's how much rope you need for your recoil. Now, if you're a little bit bigger than me, and you got these fucking arms that are fucking 5 feet long, all right, you're gonna need 10 feet of rope. It ain't gonna fit inside the recoil. You might have a little hanging. You want an arm's length of rope, okay? Now I went to the local store because I couldn't find a regular handle. I wanted to go over the handles with you. So we got a new rope. You might see this at Walmart. You might see it at Target. You might see it at Ann and Hope, Caldors, Rich's department store. You might have seen it before. Come on, people. We need one more. God damn. Open your front door. Yell out. Yell to the neighbor across. Go take. Listen. Can we take 5? Someone walk across the street, knock on a door, and say, "Hey, can you subscribe to KeyKev781? We're trying to get to 1,000 people." Now I'm going to tell you. When you buy a rope like this at the store, and it's a replacement rope, it's universal. Universal. Okay? What that means is that this can be used in all kinds of equipment. Could be used in a lawnmower. Could be used in a snowblower. Could even put this in a chainsaw. Maybe you got a backpack blower like Laura, a 56-pound one. You can use it. Now I'm going to tell you, there's my arm's length, and I still got some hanging. You don't want to go to the store, buy this rope, and put it in the snowblower, because when you're done putting it together, all that's going to be hanging out. You're going to be dragging this in the snow. You might step on it. You might hurt yourself. So you want to make sure you got an arm's length, your wingspan. Okay? Very critical. Now, if this was being used in a snowblower, I'm just pinching this off because so I mean, just take a good. That's all what's left over. God damn! I think we hit it. Congratulations! I see it. Now hold on. God damn. God damn, people. I think we made it. God damn! I'm reading the chats. God damn. Woohoo! God damn. God damn. So we got this all hanging out, all right? Now, if you were putting this in a walk behind lawnmower, you got to take into consideration that the rope is all wound up in this recoil housing on top of your machine, but your handle's up here your rope's up here in the handle. You're squeezing the lever, you're grabbing the rope. You need that. You're going to notice your lawnmower's got when you're looking at your lawnmower, you got the rope. It's stretched out. It's in a little hook up here, so you can pull it. You could use this little extra, but when you're talking about a snowblower, and that's what this recoil come off of, you want an arm's length. You want your wingspan, because you don't want a short cord. You go to pull it over with a short cord, you're gonna damage that spring. You're gonna run out of rope, and it's real critical. So what I'm gonna do is I got that at my wingspan. I'm cutting it. Now you got this left over. If you had some beads, you could make a necklace. You might even be able to tie something up. Do the bunny rabbits. Do the bunny ears. Do the bunny ears and tie it. Now I cut this end. I cut this end off, and you can see that it's all frayed. And what you got to do is you got to make sure you seal that up, because that will unwind on you. What I'm doing is I'm burning it. I'm burning it. I'm going to let it catch on fire. I'm going to take this piece of paper here, and I'm going to twist it. Now that sealed that up, so that won't fray on you no more. And if you notice, I put a little point on it, and it's rugged. That point's rugged. It's going to help you. It's going to help you feed it through that hole. Bear with me, I got to get a screwdriver. So we got the old rope that was an arm's length. We got the new rope getting ready to go in. Bear with me. Give me 1 second. I just want to go get a screwdriver. Wish I had some background music. I'd play it for you. Be right back. God damn, my bad, people. I had to get my screwdriver. All right, so now we got the recoil. We're going to wind this back up. As you can see, you got your recoil, and those dogs are coming out. What we're going to do is we're going to wind this up. We're going to keep winding this up. You're going to feel it. It's going to, I'm not going crazy. What I'm going to do is I'm right at the end. It's starting to get tight. It's starting to get, like I can't move it anymore. All right? Let me bring this a little closer so I can Now it's all wound up, and I got to get the hole through a hole right here. And you gotta line that hole up. The hole's right here, but you gotta line the hole up right here. Okay. Now with this at the last of its turn, okay, I can't turn it anymore. We want to preload this. We don't want to pull the rope and have the spring bottom out. Do you follow what I'm saying? You don't want to pull the rope and have the spring at its max. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this come back a little bit until I bring that hole is going to line up with this one. I'm backing it off. I wound it to the max, and then I'm going to let the spring retract maybe one revolution. So when I pull the rope, I know I'm not pulling the spool and the spring all as one to the end of its limit. All right? So I lined up the A with the hole. I got my screwdriver. And what I did was I put that in. The spring's all wound up. It's all ready to be loaded back in the machine. And we're going to set it off to the side. When you buy these kits, it comes with a standard handle. Real simple handle. This is made to come out. Okay? You feed the rope through there. You would take this. You would feed this rope through here. All right? Tie a knot on this end. Now the knot will be inside here. Okay? Feed the rope through the handle all the way down. So you end up putting that all together, and you got the rope coming out of here. We're not going to use this handle because this is just a regular standard handle for like a lawnmower. You might see them on a snowblower, maybe a real old one. But most snowblowers come with a handle like this, and this is called a mitten grip. This is so if you got snow gloves on or you got your mittens on, you can still grab the handle. If you got mittens on, how the hell are you grabbing that with a pair of mittens? That's why we use the mitten grip. All right? And I don't know if you remembered, but we got the washer. Okay? Because these mitten grips are pretty standard. And that hole is, you're not locking it into a piece of metal like that. I mean, how the hell would we pull this metal piece through that hole? Ain't happening. So what I'm going to tell you to do is you got the end that I burnt. Okay? And I put a little point on it. And you got this end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie the knot. I'm going to actually double up the knot. So I tied a knot. It's going to be 2 knots. Tie the first knot. Bring the second knot back to back with the first knot. All right? Then we're going to put our washer on. Now, we're going to feed it right through the handle. You got your double knot down in that handle with your washer. You got your rope coming through. It's a wingspan. It's an arm's length. Now, all we got to do is get this housing. And remember, I preloaded this. I wound this spring up to the max that it wouldn't turn anymore, and I backed it off 1 revolution. It's very critical. You could put this thing all together. If it's wound up to the max, you're going to pull it once, and if you go over your limit, you're going to break the spring. You're going to be back at ground zero. You're going to be back at square one. So I'm going to take this screwdriver out. I'm going to make sure that you can see the hole up here. I'm going to bring that A was marked on this. I didn't mark that A, but usually there is a marking on this to show you where the hole is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring that right back up to that hole, okay? And I'm just going to hold it with my hand. I'm just going to hold it with my fingers. I'm going to feed this rope. I'm going to feed this rope right in there. Wait a second. I'm doing it backwards, people. You see it come down in there? Now, if you twist this a little bit while you're pushing it in there, maybe grab your screwdriver. Now, all you're going to do, you got the rope through there. Take this screwdriver. It's your best friend right now because this spring's wound up. My hand's starting to get tired from holding it in one position. There's a lot of pressure. It wants to spin around in my hand. Once I put this back in here, I can let go of it. Everything's still wound up. It's all preloaded, ready to go. You got your rope fed through. We're going to tie this off. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double up the knot. Just going to loop it around one more time. Doubled it up back to back. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to pull it right in there. I'm going to take my screwdriver out and I'm going to slowly bring this handle back in. There we are, people. There we are. Successful mission. Proper length. Very critical. Now the WD-40, I'm a big fan of it. You see that handle? You see how that handle's all kind of white and chalky looking? It's plastic. You know, it's used out in the cold weather. It's used in the snow. WD. Little rag. Maybe that shop cloth that you had that you laid everything out on. Wiping this down. It's not all chalky anymore, though, is it? God damn. Let's go, people. We're at 1,000. Nice, Leslie, right? God damn. Look at that, Clara. Good as new is right, Frenchie. Honeybee, KeyKev781, we're at 1,000. I'm loving it. I couldn't have done it with all you people here tonight with me. God damn. Yeah, Bob. That WD-40, it'll shine up anything. Anything. I'll tell you. Works on everything too. It's a good household product. Okay? It doesn't get all, if you took motor oil or or cooking oil, okay, and you added water to it, either to rinse it off, or say you spilled some and you try to wipe up, the cooking oil on the. When you put water to it, the reaction, it turns like almost to like a white pasty milk. WD-40 is a penetrating oil that dissolves when water touches it. It breaks up. It doesn't make a mess. It doesn't have that negativity that the two chemicals that when they come in contact, they start to make change its composition. So there we have it, people. We just rebuilt the recoil. We learned a little bit about handles, mitten grips, regular handle, standard handle. We learned a little bit about the proper length. That would be next. That'll be next, Laura. God damn. God damn. What up? God damn. Yo, yo. What up, my man? It's a good friend of mine. Glad you made it tonight, Charlie. Should have you up here, man. God damn. Just chilling? Nice. Nice, Charlie. Yeah, we just did a recoil repair, brother. We just fixed the recoil rope. Charlie knows. Charlie's been there. Charlie's seen me fix some shit. He was the one that was it a Raiders game, Charlie? He was at a Raiders game. He heard about the boys from Boston. All right? Might have said something the other night on the chat. He was at a Raiders game. He heard about the boys from Boston. Someone asked him, "Hey, you think you might know them?" He said, "Geez, you never know." He's seen the stream, maybe one of JFK's posts that he put up, and he was like, "God damn, this KeyKev781." Good friend of mine. We go way back, me and Charlie. Charlie's got a great story. Charlie's got a great story. You know, you can follow Charlie on TikTok. He's been he's been doing a lot on the TikTok. Um, Everybody go check out Charlie Woodbury. Um, I don't know what it's under. What's it under, Charlie? Throw it up in the chat. TikTok. You look under Charlie's page on TikTok is Fighting MS, and he's got a great story behind this. You guys should go check him out, see what he's gone through. All right, self-control, getting a hold of things. Dedication. All right, sick of it. Was sick of feeling the way he was feeling. Got a lot of respect for Charlie, and I'd love to have him up here some night. Maybe we could talk about it, Charlie. You could come up, share your story a little bit about the fight. How you found out, how you self-corrected, how you became aware, the daily change, the physical change. Shout out to Charlie. I'm glad you're here, Charlie, with me. We just hit 1,000, maybe over 1,000 subscribers now. But yeah, tonight we fixed that recoil. It's been a great show, I think, in my eyes. I mean, we got 57 people up here. They're tuned into KeyKev781. That's big, man. I'm trying to build this channel. I'm trying to get it up, get the numbers up. I want to have, more to offer you people. What I'd love to do is my next video, my next live that I throw up here. What I want to do is I'm going to have a video on how to adjust your chainsaw chain. And I'm going to go over some key facts, good points on the adjustment and cleaning of the machine. Which, you could tell a friend, tell a brother, a sister, share the video with somebody. We're going to go over a bit of safety with that video. We're going to go over a real critical part of adjusting a chainsaw chain that it gets overlooked every time. I mean, for years I would sharpen chains that would come in loose. And what I mean by would come in loose, they weren't on the machine. Most people bring the whole chainsaw into me, and I'll take the chain off, sharpen it, and then reinstall it. And when I reinstall it, I go through these motions, and I make sure that it's on point. You could do it in the yourself. After you watch my video, you're going to get the proper way to do it. You're going to fit, it's going to be, spot on. We're going to use that word. It's going to be spot on. Chain direction, bar setting, proper tightening. There's some crazy key facts I'm going to throw up with that video, and mainly it's about safety. You can get hurt just tightening up your chainsaw chain without a machine running. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. And I want to make sure you guys get that video. You know, the best thing about it is they're up here. You know, we might talk about it. We might go over it. You know, not everybody's going to, you know, I'm not saying to run outside and, you know, change your snowblower rope. But I'm going to tell you something. If the snowblower rope broke this winter on you, and, you know, you got a back-to-back storm coming, you can't drop the machine off, or you can't find the proper replacement for it, you'll be able to do it yourself. You'll be able to watch that video um, and run through it yourself. Safety is a very, very critical part with the chainsaws. Any kind of power equipment. Any kind of power equipment. I don't want to. Anybody know a number? Anybody know a number that we're at? I don't want to back out of this. I can't really see my. I'm in a studio, so I can't really. I just want a number. I want to see where we're at. God damn, where we at? Where we at, chat? God damn. KeyKev781. He's going up the ladder. God damn. 1,000K for us. Awesome. Yeah, Charlie. Laura Pike's in the chat, Charlie. God damn, it still says 1,000K. But we're there, Becky. I made it. I made it with you. Everybody in the chat. I'm psyched. I'm psyched. Mission accomplished. We got something out of it. Everybody else got something out of it. We got a nice recoil repair by KeyKev781. You know, there's still more to come. You know, I was even thinking maybe we should do a video on tools. Some tools, some proper tools. Um, you know, what they're used for. You know, maybe why you can't use a 10 millimeter on a 3/8 bolt, or vice versa. Metric sizes and American standard sizes, they're almost equivalent, but sometimes you can't use one for the other. Maybe we should go over that. There's some other stuff I could go over too about hardware, threads, fine thread, coarse thread, um, self-locking threads. I mean, some hardware, when I mean hardware, is the nuts and bolts. Um, Sometimes it's good to be able to identify them. You know, I mean, we could always take a bolt and go up to Home Depot and walk in and, you know, start looking. But if you got a sense of direction, um, by feel and by vision of what you have in your hand, you're going to know right where to go. And I think that would be a great video too. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Plumbing. Like cleaning sink and shower drains. Not a hard thing to do, Becky. Not a hard thing to do. We could go over that. I got a couple of traps. And when I say traps, that's the piping underneath the sink in the house. It's very easy to clean a drain in the house, Becky. You can do it yourself. Um, Sometimes stuff gets jammed down there. You might throw something in the sink, had a toothpick in it. Might throw something in the sink that, piece of paper, um, a straw, anything. I mean, you'd be surprised what you find inside the drains, you know. Um, and usually, most household drains, they have a trap. It's called a trap. It's really just like it's kind of a loop like this. So everything would get trapped in the lowest point of that loop. And on the bottom of that loop, there's a big square nut that you can take off. The only thing you got to do is you got to make sure that the sink's not full. Sometimes when we have a slow drain or a clogged drain, what you would try to do, and what I do is, I picked up a small little hand plunger, a little plunger about this big for a sink. I keep it under the cabinet. If something happens, I can just put it right in there, and you know what I mean. Give it a couple of whacks with that. Usually, it'll start draining down, and then you can go and attack the drain, the trap. All you need is like a foot bathing bucket, or something, a small pail, maybe, for the beach or something. Or next time you're at the Dollar Tree, you grab a little pail or a bucket and get prepared, to do it. Fairly easy. You clean out whatever's underneath the cabinet. Shower drains, you know, depending on what floor the shower is in. Um, you'd want to be able to, if it was, say, a first floor, you might see a trap down the basement, up in the rafters. You might see a drain trap. You know, um, if it was on second floor level, third floor level, usually it's enclosed underneath the floor, which we could go over a couple of ways that you could free up the drain without getting into taking the trap apart. Most drains, sometimes with the tubs, they're a little bigger, bigger pipe size than say a sink. Most sinks have access even in a vanity. That's why we have vanities to kind of hide all the piping underneath the sinks. Some new construction is a lot different, um, which I probably wouldn't direct anybody. I'd have to know. I'd really have to know what we're chasing, but very easy, simple. I did see something. Are you guys talking about the event? I'm looking over here in the chat. I did get something today. One of my one of the boys sent me something over about some time. 10/24 on October 24th. It's going to be the second annual live podcast. It's going to be with JFK, James Jackson, KeyKev781, the Young Jerks, and Law Inferno, Nan Gallagher. It's going to be a great time that night, I'll tell you. 10/24/2025. I hope a lot of you guys get to make it out there to Malden. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great time. We're working on a time and an address to throw up, Laura, if you're listening out there. It's coming. It'll be coming out soon, Laura, because we've all been we've been talking amongst each other in regards to a, a good invitation that gives you some good time to well, goddamn, I guess saying that it's going to be October 24th, 2025. Fuck, don't have nothing planned for that day. That way you're fucking free. You know what I'm saying? Take the day off and shit. I would. I might. I would. It's going to be a great fucking time. I'll tell you right now, the way it's feeling right now, fucking bring a hoodie. Bring a hoodie. Go check out the merch over at Fockery Donuts at JFK Show Off. It's got some great merch. Go check out James Jackson at the Layover. It's got some great merch. Pick up one of those sweatshirts. Get a Layover sweatshirt. Get a Long Gamers. Nice Long Gamers sweatshirt. And if you want, you could check out underneath logos. You could even get a Let's Go People sweatshirt. I heard that Aiden is having a Halloween party. I think if you would, where we will be in Malden, it's probably, I think it's 20 minutes away, or a 20-minute drive through the city, and you're there. That's not a far distance from where Aiden's party's going down to. God damn. A Halloween, a Halloween party, Laura. He did it last year. Definitely, Lincoln. Definitely. I'd like to let me look through this chat with a show with let's see, we got 52 people that are rolling here in the chat. Some people are chatting, some people ain't. Let me throw up your ones if you think you might show up on 10/24 JFK Show Off, James Jackson, KeyKev781, The Young Jerks, Nan Gallagher. Who's showing up? Who's showing up? I want to know. Mamacita, Lincoln, Bob, Epags, Cheryl with an S, Laura. Goddamn, Becky, you coming? K-Mac, Horse Crazy Nurse, Becky G, Jeannie Lynn. Yeah, she's going to be there. Mika. It's all right. We're going to be live streaming. It's not only going to be an event, it's going to be a live streamed event. So if you can't come, you're going to be able to see what's going on. You know? Jenny. It's me, Jenny D. Yeah, it's live. It's going to be a live stream event. It's not, I mean, this is what JFK does. Goddamn, I'll be dancing, Laura. You know that. For sure. Lisa, it's all right. It's going to be live streamed. $10.24, honey bee. You got it. What's up, Suzanne? Thanks for jumping in. Laura, you psyched? Calendar is marked. Nice. Nice. I hope so, Lisa. Charlie will like it. There'll be some good music and shit. He likes the same kind of music I like. A little bit of both. Micah, I got you. Sounds good, E-Pags. God damn. Be a great time. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time. This is great. This is great. Thanks, honey bee. I get that, honeybee. Same here. Love is love. Micah, I got that shit now, so don't worry about that. God damn. Malden, Mass. Yep. No problem, girl. Sounds good, Charlie. I'll be around. Just hit me up, man. Like I said, man, at some point, man, maybe you come up here and could wrap it up, send you a link and shit. It's real easy. Jump in a studio right on your phone and shit. This is awesome, guys. Well, listen, I've been going for a little over a couple minutes, over 2 hours. I think we got some. Yes. Yes, EPEGs. Definitely. I'll work on that. But yeah, I think tonight's stream was a great one. You know, we've been holding at least 49, 50 people in here a couple hours. I mean, that's good for me. I'm telling you, you know, to reach out to all you guys and share a little bit of my knowledge. And I mean, I'd like to have it laid out a little bit better. I'm working on that though. These are the things that will change, and you'll see. You know, I do have a nice bench, and I do have my tools, hanging on the wall and stuff. But it's it's not really set up in there like that. I'd like to get a few things that I can, maybe get a couple of different cameras and stuff, and be able to, you know, maybe even be able to break a video down a little bit better too, and upload just a video. But I really want to be able to do this live, walk around, interact, pick shit up, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Some shop talk with KeyKev781. But listen, I want to thank all you guys tonight with tonight's stream. You guys helped me get up to 1,000 subscribers, something that I've been wanting to reach. I appreciate it. Um, without you guys in the chat, without you guys watching, I wouldn't have got there. Um, I really appreciate the support. I hope you got something out of that video tonight, that breakdown of the recoil, real simple repair. Um, you know, and some suggestions. Becky G, I got a trap in the shop. I got a couple of brand new ones hanging for the house. Got a couple on standby. We could break one of them down, show you how to take that nut out. Shit, simple. You know, there are a couple of solutions you can use for a drain and shit. If it's something that's you got to get freed up like ASAP. You know, um, I'm not a big believer in chemical stuff. You know, but it's all safe. I mean, it's all tested. You know what I mean? But definitely, yeah, that'll be a good video. That'll be a good video, Becky. Simple, you know. I got a little catch pan or a little pail that I can, simulate what's gonna happen and shit. You know, I'll tell you, if it's something quick that a lot of people sometimes don't recognize is that usually a sink drain has a vent. Um, most bathroom sinks have a vent. Sometimes you got your little spigot coming out the top that the water's coming out. At the very top of that, if you were to look down and look up, you might see a little sliver, a little opening. Okay, or you might see a little hole. You got your sink in the bathroom. You might see a little hole at the top, a little vent. So like almost like if it was to overflow, that it wouldn't like come out onto the floor. You see, if some sinks have that. If you were to plunge a clogged sink with a small sink plunger, which I have one, they're great to have underneath the thing. Instead of, some people are like, oh, the plunger? I ain't gonna use the toilet plunger and put it in my sink where I brush my teeth and shit. I agree. I fucking agree. So they sell these little handheld plungers. Probably get one at the Dollar Tree, to be totally honest with you. Buy two of them. That's what I'd fucking do. But if you're gonna try to plunge a sink drain and it's got a vent, you have to block it with your hand. Because every time you try to plunge it, it ain't gonna do nothing. It's just gonna move the water around in there. So sometimes what I would do, if it was on a sink drain, which I do have one in the house, that it's up by the faucet area, what I would do is get a face cloth and I just get it a little damp and I wrap it around it. Wrap it right around, right up against where the sink is. Or I'd take that damp cloth and just hold it over the hole and I'd plunge the sink. Now you're gonna get it's gonna create a vacuum, you know? It might help you out. But once again, I'm out of here, people. I gotta bounce out of here. I appreciate it. Um, Thanks for showing up here tonight. And until next time, um, let's go, people.